We have two projects I want to talk about that I think are really exciting, just in the way that they're using that genetic insight to make better management decisions around these endangered species. And the first one takes us to Kenya with an Irishman named Andy Tai, who's been doing some incredible work.
Arabuko is the largest remaining remnant of coastal forest in all of East Africa. And it has a high degree of endemic species. And there's a population of elephants that are currently living in this forest, which in the past would have been connected to other populations of elephants, including those in Savo and further north and further south. But now they're surrounded by an electric fence. Because it's such a dense environment, it's been very difficult to actually count how many elephants are in there. And it's very difficult to manage a group of any animals if you don't know how many exist. Where this project is kind of pushing new boundaries is that this will be the first time a SNP array has been developed for savanna elephants. SNPs are single nucleotide polymorphisms. So basically one base pair in the genome where individuals differ. And when you amalgamate all those differences across an individual's genome, that pattern of SNPs is unique to the individual. So by using this approach, we can see how many individuals are in the forest. And the way that we're doing that is non-invasively using SCAT. In Arabuko, we have a unique situation where in the dry season, all of the elephants in the forest are forced to visit one watering hole. And what this means is that we can get a snapshot of every elephant in the forest as it comes to drink. It will relieve itself and leave us a sample. And as we sample over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, we should in theory cover the entire population. Knowing this, wildlife authorities in Kenya will have a clearer idea of the pressures that are on the forest. And if the number is quite high, it will indicate to wildlife authorities that perhaps some elephants should be translocated, or a wildlife corridor should be put in a way almost like a release valve. But a unique part of our project is that we are helping to develop a local lab in Kenya. And by having it based in country, it means that these sorts of projects can be happening with much higher frequency and are reliant on people like me flying in, facilitating stuff like this. Ideally, in the future, human civilization will have space for nature, but at the moment it's a fight. So areas like Arabuko, Sokoke need to be protected in their entirety, which includes the elephants and all the other animals that are in there, so that in the future, when we have space and tolerance, they'll be able to spread out. This is true of all wild places around the world.
What I love about that project is that these elephants are absolutely invisible from the sky. So they really don't know the size of the population, and they don't know the level of inbreeding that could be happening in a closed population. So by looking at that individual fingerprint of those animals, they not only know their genetic diversity, but they will begin to even understand what plants they're eating and how they might even create a migratory path for them.